where we're looking at a massive, and I mean massive, shift happening right now in the automotive world. When you hear the phrase affordable car, what immediately pops into your head? Because for decades, that phrase was basically just a polite way of saying you have to settle. But right now, we are seeing a total paradigm shift. We're going to explore exactly why affordable cars are suddenly offering so much more, and why the biggest players in the industry are literally being put on notice. To really wrap your head around this, I want you to imagine walking into a dealership today with a budget of around 20 grand. Historically, you'd know exactly what to expect, right? You'd expect a very basic car, something slow, something kind of boring, and most importantly, something with almost zero technology. The unwritten rule was simple. You want a low price, you sacrifice features. You just accept a stripped-down interior. That was just the harsh reality of the entry-level market. So that brings us to Section 1. Meet the disruptor, the 2026 Hyundai Venue.
This is the vehicle that's completely shattering those old expectations. It's a brand new compact SUV that actually gives buyers that higher driving position and the SUV-style design that so many American shoppers are looking for, but it brings it all right down to that entry-level price point. Now, to be perfectly clear before we go any further, the Venue is not literally a $20,000 car out the door. You still have taxes, registration, dealer charges, all that stuff. But its official starting MSRP is just $20,550. Entering one of the most fiercely competitive segments of the market at this price point is what makes it so fascinating. And honestly, the real plot twist here, it isn't a Toyota.
And this brilliantly illustrates why the Venue is making such waves right now. Just look at the standard tech on the base model. You get an 8-inch touchscreen, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, a rear-view monitor, lane keeping assistance, driver attention warning, and even forward collision avoidance with pedestrian detection. Seriously, think about that for a second. A vehicle starting near 20 grand is packing technology and safety features that would have sounded like a luxury upgrade not that long ago. It proves that entry level absolutely no longer means bare bones. Plus, you get 5 seats in a small SUV package.
And watch how this builds if you decide to step up just a little bit. Move to the Venue SEL trim and things get even more interesting. You're suddenly getting unexpected premium features like heated front seats, wireless charging, 17-inch alloy wheels, and a power sunroof. All of a sudden, we are completely blurring the lines of economy pricing. It just doesn't feel like that stripped-down economy vehicle people are so used to seeing when they shop at this price point.
But to be perfectly impartial here, we really have to look at the whole picture. 121. That is the horsepower produced by the Venue's 1.6-liter 4-cylinder engine. Let's be very clear about this. This is not a sports car. It is certainly not going to pin you to your seat when the light turns green, and to be fair, Hyundai isn't pretending that it will. It's built strictly for city commuting, running errands, getting to work, and taking the kids around town. If you want serious performance, you'll definitely need to look elsewhere. But for everyday usability and affordability, it works perfectly.
Moving on to Section 2, Toyota's efficiency advantage.
This brings us to the incumbent standard bearer in this space. While the Venue is out there disrupting the entry-level SUV market with all that tech, Toyota's 2026 Corolla leans into its legendary reputation for practicality and deep, deep reliability, which makes it an absolute powerhouse in the American car market. When we actually compare the numbers side by side, the battle lines are drawn pretty clearly. The Venue gives you that super low starting MSRP and a very respectable 29 miles per gallon in the city and 33 on the highway. But the Corolla LE, which starts a few thousand more at $23,125, jumps up to 32 mpg in the city and 41 on the highway. And if you look at the Corolla Hybrid LE starting just under 25 grand, you are getting a massive 53 miles per gallon in the city and 46 on the highway. So it's a clear trade-off. The Venue plays hard on price and SUV styling, but Toyota clearly dominates on fuel efficiency.
And that leads directly into Toyota's proven formula. If your absolute number one priority is fuel economy, Toyota offers maximum efficiency, unmatched reliability, and they even give buyers power choices, like available all-wheel drive on select hybrid trims. Impartially speaking, if someone wants maximum fuel efficiency and prefers the driving dynamics of a traditional compact sedan, Toyota's reputation and these powertrain options remain extremely difficult to ignore.
But here's the macro market trend that makes this whole explainer so fascinating to me. The Venue actually doesn't need to beat Toyota at everything to be a success. It really only needs to make buyers ask one specific internal question when they cross-shop these vehicles, and that is, why am I paying more? Because once customers start asking that question and they start comparing these new, feature-rich, affordable cars against the pricier options, every single automaker has to stop and listen.
Which takes us to Section 3, the new definition of value.
The story here really isn't just Hyundai versus Toyota. It's about how the entire American car market is fundamentally changing right before our eyes. Buyers are just no longer willing to accept major compromises just to get a low price on the window sticker. Consumers are weighing the total cost of ownership so much differently today. They're looking at monthly payments, yes, absolutely, but they're also looking at fuel prices, insurance costs, the included tech, and maintenance expenses. Manufacturers simply cannot make a cheap car and expect buyers to accept a bare-bones interior anymore. True value no longer means just a low starting price. It means getting the absolute most useful vehicle for your hard-earned money.
So the crucial point we want to take away here is that vehicles like the Venue have completely altered the baseline expectations. I mean, look at this equation. A buyer can now walk into a dealership looking for an affordable vehicle and realistically expect modern smartphone connectivity, plus advanced safety technology, plus an SUV-style body, plus respectable fuel economy. By proving that budget-conscious buyers don't have to accept an outdated experience, Hyundai is forcing every other automaker to compete on features at the very bottom of the market.
Section 4. The real winner is you.
The biggest surprise in the automotive world right now is that the fiercest, most exciting battle isn't happening at $50,000, it's happening right around $20,000. When manufacturers are forced to compete this hard for budget-conscious buyers, they have to give you a compelling reason to choose their vehicle. So I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative question: Venue or Corolla? If you were shopping today, would you choose the Hyundai's affordable, tech-heavy SUV package with that higher seating position? Or would you spend a few thousand more for Toyota's proven, literally unbeatable efficiency? And maybe the even bigger question, will Toyota eventually feel the pressure to release a truly affordable $20,000 SUV with this level of standard tech just to fight back? It is definitely a fascinating space to watch. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep asking those tough questions.